Good morning, students. So today I am going to explain about transport in plants. When we are talking about transport in plants, we have to know about means of transport, plant water relations, long distance transport of water, transpiration, uptake and transport of mineral nutrients, phloem transport, that is flow from source to sink. Here means of transport means what are the different types of transportations or takes place in plant, and what is the relationship between water and plant, and also we have to know how water transportation takes place within the plant, and the transpiration. So transpiration means a loss of water in the form of water vapors from plant is called as transpiration. And also we have to know about how mineral nutrients are taken by plants and how food is transported within the plant. Transport and movement in plants includes transport of water, mineral nutrients, organic nutrients, and plant growth regulators. Transport over small distance carried out by diffusion and by cytoplasmic streaming, that is supplemented by active transport. So active transport means the transportation of substances by using energy in the form of ATP. In plants, transport over longer distance proceeds through the vascular system, that is xylem and phloem, and thus transportation is called as translocation. So in plants, xylem is used for conduct of water and minerals, whereas phloem is used for conduct of food materials. The important aspect of transportation is direction of transport. Transport through xylem is always unidirectional, whereas transport through phloem is always bidirectional. So unidirectional means the transportation of water is always from roots to upper parts of the plant, whereas transportation through phloem is always bidirectional, means the food material prepared in the leaves is transported up to the root, and sometimes the food materials which are stored in root has to be transported to the upper parts of the plant. Now we are going to know about what are the different means of transport. The first mean of transport is diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of substances from the region of their higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration. The diffusion is a passive transport, means it does not require any energy. Diffusion takes place from the one part of the cell to other part, or from cell to cell, or over short distances. For example, from the intercellular spaces of the leaf to the outside. So diffusion of molecules move in a random manner. Here we are seeing the picture about diffusion from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Diffusion is a slow process and it is not dependent on living system. A rate of the diffusion is higher in gases and next to liquids and next to solids. So the rate of the diffusion is greater than gases, next to liquids and solids. So in plants, diffusion is the only mean for the gaseous movement within the plant body. For example, up intake of carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and release of oxygen at the same time. The rate of the diffusions are affected by different factors. They are concentration gradient, permeability of membranes, temperature, and pressure. Next, we have to know what is a facilitated diffusion. As we know that for diffusion process, there must be two different concentrations. They are higher concentration and lower concentration. And diffusion always takes place from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. So that is concentration gradient. So for diffusion, there must be a concentration gradient, and the rate of the diffusion depends on the size of the substances. Obviously, smaller substances are diffused faster than larger substances. And another thing, the diffusion across membrane depends on its solubility in lipids, because membranes are made up of lipids. If the substances is a lipid molecule, it easily diffuse across the membrane, whereas hydrophilic substances are difficult to diffuse across the membrane. So the diffusion of hydrophilic substances has to be facilitated by some membrane proteins, which is called as facilitated diffusion. The term facilitated diffusion is used here because the diffusion of hydrophilic substances or water loving substances are takes place by the proteins which are present in membranes. That's why the diffusion of hydrophilic substances by proteins is called as facilitated diffusion. And the transport rate reaches maximum when all protein transporters are used. So this is called transport saturation. And one thing about facilitated diffusion is the facilitated diffusion is very specific, means it allows cell to select substances for uptake. So whenever we are talking about diffusion, we have to know what are porins. So porins are huge proteins that forms pores in the membranes of plastids, mitochondria, or in some bacteria. These porins are allows molecules up to the size of small proteins. Example, water channel. This water channel is made up of 8 different types of aquaporins. And here we have to know 3 terminologies. They are symport, antiport, and uniport. Symport means diffusion of 2 molecules together in same direction, which is represented in the diagram. And antiport means diffusion of 2 molecules in opposite direction, whereas uniport means single molecule moves across a membrane independent of other molecule. Active transport. Active transport uses energy to pump molecules against a concentration gradient. Against a concentration gradient means from the region of low concentration to the region of high concentration. Here the active transport is carried out by some membrane proteins. One thing we have to remember that membrane proteins play major role in both passive transport and active transport. Already we know that membrane proteins are involved in facilitated diffusion, which is a passive transport, and again membrane proteins are involved in active transport, which is using energy in the form of ATP. So the membrane proteins which are involved in active transport are called as pumps. So these pumps are always helps in uphill transport or movement against a concentration gradient, that is from low to high concentration. Like enzymes, carrier proteins are also very specific, means they are specifically carried out the transportation of substances. Like carrier proteins, pumps are also sensitive to inhibitors. The table represents the difference among simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and active transport. Simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion are passive transport, means they do not require any energy, whereas active transport require energy in the form of ATP. And second difference is driving force. Simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion are always according to concentration gradient, means downhill movement, that is from high concentration region to low concentration region, whereas active transport is a uphill movement, means against concentration gradient, that's why it requires ATP energy. Simple diffusion does not require any membrane proteins, but facilitated diffusion and active transport requires membrane proteins. The proteins which are used in facilitated diffusion are called as channel or carrier proteins, and the proteins which are involved in active transport are called as pumps. There is no transport saturation in simple diffusion, but there is a transport saturation in facilitated diffusion and active transport whenever all protein transporter are used. And the final difference between simple diffusion and facilitated active transport is facilitated diffusion and active transports are highly sensitive to inhibitors.